But I think there's almost this, we don't trust ourselves that the thing that we love most, we actually deserve to do. And, when I hear you say, what I love to do is laugh and make other people laugh, that's what you get to do in a sales role.
All jokes aside, I want to bring this secret sauce, this like magical, that just what you have created from scratch. I want to bring that to as many people as possible, because everybody that is ever in a room with you, that has ever worked with you, that's worked with your team, that's eventually going to work with this like bench of super impressive consultants that we're assembling.
Yeah.
Crazy town, like big 5 consulting firms. I'm like, yes, please bring me all of your moms that are tired of like that structure.
Yeah. What you were making me think about is you said what you love to do is to laugh and to make people laugh. And I think this is hard to do when you're a younger person trying to figure out what you want to do in the world. But when I remember trying to determine what my career was going to be and trying to get through college, what am I meant to do? And people, what would you do if money wasn't an object? What would you do just because you love it? And I would say, I would just have coffee with people all the time, which what is it? It's talking, it's theorizing, it's being with people. And that it took me several iterations of a career to get to coaching, to get to podcasting. And maybe I couldn't have done the things that I'm doing now earlier because I needed experience in different areas. I needed different types of relationships. But I think there's almost this, we don't trust ourselves that the thing that we love most, we actually deserve to do. And, when I hear you say, what I love to do is laugh and make other people laugh, that's what you get to do in a sales role. Now, it's not like you're cracking jokes about things that aren't related. You are having to use your intelligence to link what's happening in this relationship. You're having to use your emotional intelligence. You're using our work product and what we're selling, because that we had to build whole content and our own IP and all of this. So it's like there's this framework that does have, but essentially you're doing what comes easiest to you, what you do best, what brings you joy. And I wonder if we resist that, or I'll speak for myself. I wonder if I resisted that, because if it's easy, to our point earlier, then it must not be worthwhile, or I don't deserve something that would be that easy. And when I talk to people now, it's like, I don't know if you can go into it saying, because what I kind of want to see is for people who are searching, what do you most love to do? And how can you do that and make money doing it? And start to pull that thread and see if it can turn into something, rather than most of us looking back over 20 years and saying, man, I am now doing that thing. It's like, could it be a part of our experience that we believe we deserve it, and we build in the things that fuel us and that bless others into our lives, believing that we deserve it and they deserve it, rather than saying, I don't deserve that, or I can't make money doing that, so I'm going to go do this other thing. I wonder what the difference might be in terms of the journey and how we take care of ourselves along the way, building a career.
Yeah. And I think maybe that's another way for me to look back and forgive myself a little bit, because in every role I've had, I've laughed a lot.
Yeah.
But like, I've always, like, maybe the journey was about, if it was to get me where I am right now, which was us working together, then I know I did. If it's like, okay, through the lens of you were getting more and more comfortable with yourself, you were stepping into these different ways of being, and this understanding, this deep-seated understanding of who you are, and really loving that and loving yourself, then I couldn't do what I'm doing now if I hadn't done all this kind of work or not. I couldn't experience, I couldn't fully appreciate how good it feels to build something from scratch and see it to fruition if I hadn't kind of given myself some time, a little bit of time, to invest more in like in my own heart and soul than I did in some external like benchmark for success. And I've spent along the last 10 years, looking to my husband for what success looked like. And he's super successful and very proud of him. I want him for his own not that his worth needs to be tied to his success, but I think it's important for him to, reach a goal, strive for it. He's very motivated, very ambitious. But this is the first time in my life where I've kind of flipped the script and gone, wait, I could achieve those familial goals. Like, oh, you want a river house? I'll make it happen. Like, I don't need any, it's to kind of just flip mentally, go, and not that I've been this like kept woman. I've brought plenty to the table, both monetarily and the things that I bring to our marriage and our family. But this is literally the first time where I'm like, wait a minute, I can these external goals that aren't rooted in things, right? It's not like I want a bunch of Chanel bags. Do I like Chanel bags? Sure. But that stuff like doesn't matter to me in the way that it used to. And I want to achieve freedom for my family, the freedom to choose how we spend our time, the freedom to send our kids to whatever schools, whatever camps, whatever trips, whatever they want to go on. I want to be able to like write that check without thinking about it. I want the freedom. I want freedom of time, like getting us to a place where this is self-operating and we get to go, hey, what would be really fun is go to that conference in Miami that's happening XYZ, or let's go to, I like putting us in a position where, if my gift is making people laugh, let's go
make people laugh by all means. Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm so grateful that you've always believed in me, but I'm so grateful that you've put this this is a serious endeavor, and that you've given me, this just occurred to me, you have given me the space and the trust to do this my way, to do this in a way that is really true to me.
Yeah.
And this is your baby. I mean, this is your business that you've built from scratch. And to say that despite all of the ways I might have over the years shown you that I am not disciplined and I'm not capable of doing what I say what I'm going to do, or all the reasons I've ever given you to not trust me, I'm so honored that you've put this, basically, the future of your family and your business in my hands.
Not completely in your hands, but partially in your hands. And, I think that's how much I believe in you. And I know, like, when you, and this is our yin yang too. I make it too hard. You might approach it as too easy. Neither one of those is necessarily true, but they're somewhat true. I think too small. You think really big. So it's the whatever, when you latch onto something and you decide it's going to be true, it is going to be freaking true. And so my prayer was that, there's enough that's inspiring about what we're doing, and that you drink the Kool-Aid around what this can be, so that this becomes something that you want, not something that just I want. And that you can see the possibility for how this can change our clients' lives, change our team's lives, change our families' futures, in terms of how we use, honestly, some of our pain to benefit the world. Some of the struggle of what we've gone through and the things that we've learned the hard way to support other people in doing their inner work as leaders, and doing the work of growing their organizations and their teams and making their impact on the world. That's ultimately what I want to help people do, is make the biggest impact on the world that they can. And that's a part of what we get to do at Collective Growth. And I knew that when you saw that there's going to be different ways that we go about it, but the Lord's in charge of driving this forward. And we want to be good stewards of the talents and the experiences that he's given us. And that's more powerful, I think, than anything else in the whole world.
Right. And just listening to you, I'm like, yes, like it's so easy to work for someone like you who does who brings this light, this idea of helping leaders or whoever it is within an organization become a better version of themselves within that organization, right? Or not even just become a better version of themselves, but aligning systems and processes and this, like, what success looks like, right? Like, we've been talking about that a lot, where across middle and upper management, you might be experiencing chaos because KPIs, roles and responsibilities, escalation, all of that is unclear. And what happens when people experience chaos and they're uncomfortable in their work lives, they're going to bring that home. And it's going to impact how they show up with their spouses or their kids or their parents or whatever it is. And I'm like, if we are putting ourselves in a position where the change management work, the integration work, the consulting that you have been able to really just pull out of your brain from this like deep understanding and of course you've put the hours in and you have the letters behind your name, right? Like, you come to the table with proven best practices and the credentials. But I think you also make people feel so seen and so safe. And you make other people feel exactly the way that I get to feel, and I've always felt around you. And then my challenge is, how do I take us from founder led selling
That's it.
that you've never really had to do because it's been, your business has grown organically. But how do I take this magic that you bring and package it into products and services, and then how I take it out into the world?
Yeah,
And so,
and when I'm not the consultant on it. I mean, yeah, and that's been such a blessing that I hadn't thought about, is as we've advertised on LinkedIn and talked with people in our network about bringing in more consultants to help us execute as we grow, to have people reach out and say, I love what you're doing, I want to be a part of it, has been so humbling.
mm,
And to say, there's the reputation that we've built, but also people wanting to be a part of something bigger. And that's when I'm like, the Lord is not going to block this. Like, the people wanting to do something of impact in the world and helping people heal and become better leaders and heal the systems in our organizations to do more impactful work, that's not going to be stopped.
right.
No, and it's just, that's been really powerful to see too, because, I think we all struggle to see ourselves as leaders. And I think this is the most leadery I've felt. Is I'm creating something that didn't exist before and inviting people into it, and trying to provide the right direction and inspiration and processes to make this a reality. And we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Very leadery.
You are so leadery. What is something, I'm going to flip the script a little bit. What is something that has surprised you about bringing me on board that you weren't expecting, good or bad?
Interesting. Um, it's not surprising. But I think I didn't realize how lonely I was. And that whole idea of like, it's lonely at the top, that, because you carry this burden, and you're scaling and you're bringing on the team. And so you're able to be in that lonely place with me. So congratulations. Welcome to loneliness.
Like, what
And,
is this heaviness in my chest that I've been feeling since October?
but you're able to share some of that space with me. And it might not even be that you're able to answer a question or you're able to solve something, but just having you, like, I've been able to cry with you, and like, I can't cry with my team. Like, they need to see. And that's where it's a balance of, yes, vulnerable, but also when you're a business this small and
Yeah.
you're the lever, you can't break down.
Right.
Like, there's a certain amount of vulnerability that a small team can handle. And so, the few times that I've, pushed a little too hard and felt a little bit depleted, you've been able to be there with me. And that's just priceless and helped me get my strength back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get the dog to stop barking. person down at the other end of the house couldn't possibly be bothered to make a dog stop barking.
Okay. Person at the end of the house needs to come get his dog. Can he take it on a walk?
He's on a call.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yay.
Here? Will it bother you if it's in your room?
Yeah, he was rummaging through my stuff earlier. Let's see. All we need is a good close. We need like one more here. Maybe if I just hold him.
Yeah, I like that.
You poor boy. This way. Come here. It's okay. You can come in with me. Come here. Here, come sit with me and say hi so people can laugh at how cute you are.
Okay, can you start over saying, why don't I just ask that question again? Because your answer was really good.
Okay, you stay here, Gummy. Here, look right here. Look how cute you are.
What is something, so MaryAnn, you had to go get the dog.
I had to go get Gum Bear, as I call him. Gumbo is our 5-month-old chocolate lab puppy. He's so sweet. But he was next door barking his little head off, so we're going to let him be in here with me for a minute.
So what is something that was an unexpected consequence, good or bad, of bringing me onto your team?
I don't, a consequence. Consequences sound negative, but
and that's what I said, good or bad. Good, you can have good consequences. I tell my 4-year-old that all the time.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, I think a good consequence, moving the trash can here, so that Gummy can. Oh, what did he get? What you get? Got a wrapper. Okay. Yeah. Let's just use that part for outtakes. Okay, now he's getting the paper on the ground. Okay, stay right here. Stay right here. Sit. I think the biggest benefit, I think that, of course, could anything freaking work?
What is it? Here, let me ask again.
God, dog it. Okay, there. Okay.
So what is an unexpected outcome? What has been an unexpected outcome of bringing me on board?
One of the things, I think the leadership burden, people talk about it being lonely at the top, but bearing the burden of leadership, especially in an organization that's trying to scale, it had gotten pretty heavy. And one of the things you just deal with what you have to deal with. So I wasn't processing that. But what has been such a blessing over the last few months is it's like when I've been low, you've been high. When you've been, when you've had difficulty, I've had the energy. So I can see how God is helping us balance each other out. And I can be really vulnerable with you. I wouldn't feel comfortable like being down or being negative, and that's not really me. But I can. A couple times that I have been struggling, I was able to cry, and I wouldn't feel. You can only be so vulnerable with your team. I know we talk about that as leaders and vulnerability being a strength, and it is, but to a certain degree. Like we still have to, especially in a small organization like ours, when I'm the main lever that is pulled to reach our goals. And so having you in that space with me to not judge, but to support and to offer, and I think we do this for each other. We don't make excuses, but we offer support and healthy perspective around how we could shift, how we could use noticing to change our circumstance, change our mindset. And something that I knew that Eric was into, stoicism, and I knew that y'all had talked about before, has been a really cool thing to add to the repertoire around, and this was part of my coaching program too, like whatever you're in it for a reason. You cannot change that. And so like 100% acceptance, 100% responsibility. And you've brought in the phrase, I love it. Like whatever is happening that really sucks. And you said this to me probably a month ago. I do facilitation all the time. I love it. I love to sell it. But the 24 hours before and the whole time during doing a retreat or something like that, it's like I dread it because it's like this. Nothing's going to go wrong. Everything's going to be great. But for whatever reason, I would allow myself to be like, can it just please be the next day? Like, can it be over? Was my energy. Like, I just want to get through this. And I was talking to you about it and you were like, why are you even letting yourself do that? Like, you gave me all the reasons why to not do that and reminded me that it's an energetic drain to sit in that. And it was another version of what I've worked on before of the like life is happening. You can be miserable or you can be happy. And it's like, I hadn't gotten to, it was like, no matter what, I'm always just going to dread it. Well, why? And so like the shift in that posture of instead of, I've got 15 things to work on, I'm just going to dread the rest of the day or I'm going to count until 5:00. Why? Like relish this moment that I get to be in, living in this time, doing this work that nobody else has done before. And really just telling a completely different story. Now he has styrofoam.
Come here, you tutor.
Yes, that. So I think I love how we challenge each other, and yet I can be my most vulnerable. And that's pretty precious.
Yay! I'm so glad genuinely that I can be that person for you, and because you've always been that person for me, that kind of stalwart. And I want what is happening right there?
Now he has face masks from the airplane. Get everything off the floor. Okay, maybe we call it a day. Let's close out, Emily, with quick rapid fire. Tell us your favorite coffee order, a strength that you bring to the collective growth team, and something that you're still figuring out. These are questions by Haley. Thank you, Haley.
Hey, thank you, Haley. My coffee order is usually just like black coffee with steamed coconut or oat milk. And then depending on the sweetness of the milk, I'll add a tiny bit of stevia.
Love it.
What was the second one?
A strength that you bring to the CG team. Laughter, we know.
Laughter, I think I bring a little bit of like grab life by the cojones energy.
Yep.
And I think I bring a little
I love that.
Yes. I think I definitely bring some intensity and possibilities are huge. And I think I bring a worldview and I do bring experience that is different from anybody else's. Yes, as much as I want to like get here and discount it, I'm like, no, I've done some cool stuff.
You've done some amazing stuff.
I've been in some pretty big rooms and I've been at some pretty significant tables and I've seen I've looked under the hood of some Fortune 50 organizations and everybody is just a human being.
Everybody puts on their pants one week at a time.
Yep.
Yep. And that's part of the story too. It's like we can all minimize ourselves as much as we want, or we can be as big as we want in any room. One thing you're still figuring out.
I'm still figuring out what it would look like to be a disciplined person on my own terms and just testing out a few things. Like if I were to focus on, let's say in this next sales sprint for the next 3 weeks, I've got my KPIs. I know what I need my conversion rates to be, yada, yada, yada. What if I could also bring myself a little bit of freedom by taking this discipline that I'm trying to really nail down and embody in the business and bring that into my personal life? Yeah. What if I just tried going to bed at 9:30 and waking up at 5? And if I hate it.
No, I like the idea of it as an experiment. And if you don't like it, don't do it. And that's where I think discipline isn't discipline if it's for something you love and if it's full of purpose and meaning. If it's discipline just for the sake of discipline, that is joyless.
Yep. And I also am like, I'm ready. It's kind of like, there are things about our lives growing up that I've finally decided to just let go of. Yeah. Whether it was a relationship with a certain person in our family or outside of our family, like this narrative that I am not interested in having define me anymore.
Yeah.
And I just don't think about it anymore. I don't ruminate on it. I don't tell the stories anymore. I don't use it as a way to like define my, the way I interact with Eric or whatever. Like I'm not obsessed with him controlling me or like,
Right.
which he doesn't try to do, but even,
Whatever the
and
story or the narrative was that we got obsessed with at one time.
right. And so now I'm like, okay, so I've moved beyond some of those old narratives that defined me as an individual.
Which was the whole point of noticing.
Yes, that was the plug. Thank you.
So everybody, listen to original seasons. We are going to have a relaunch later in 2026.
But also I'm like, okay, what are these narratives that I'm saying about literally that I started off this episode with about, I've never let myself I've never let myself get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Is that really true? Like, or do I really need, not really. Cause now I think back to like 2019 when I left oil and gas and left mom's business and went into a tech startup in a product management role. Are you kidding me? Like,
right.
This girl didn't know what product management meant.
Right. And you learned so much that you're now bringing. And that's where like everything that's happened in our lives over our lifetime is like coming together. And that's what that scripture is God works things together for good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And I feel called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
Are you laughing at me and my dog?
I am. I'm also sweet. I also want to believe in my heart of hearts that his purpose is that, we have a NetJets account and we have a team of like 200 people who we are blessing on a, massive scale.
Yes, we fly to our clients because we're helping them rebuild something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so all jokes aside, I want to bring this secret sauce, this like magical, that just what you have created from scratch. I want to bring that to as many people as possible because everybody that is ever in a room with you, that has ever worked with you, that's worked with your team, that's eventually going to work with this like bench of super impressive consultants that we're assembling.
Yeah.
Crazy town, like big 5 consulting firms. I'm like, yes, please bring me all of your moms that are tired of like that structure.
Yeah.
And I want to bring what you've built to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And I want to make people feel the effects of what collective growth is able to enact in organizations. Yeah. And I'm just really, really blessed and honored. I'm like, I can't believe that yes, nepotism is alive and thriving. And I'm
so glad.
I'm so grateful to be a recipient of like this, what's like a practice as old as time.
That's right. Tale as old as time. Thank you, Emily, for joining Inner Work, for talking about the inner work of sisterhood, running a business, what an unexpected joy and pleasure it is to get to work together. I can't wait for all the amazing work ahead. I think we should do an episode with Karen too. I think that would be super fun. With you two as a little comedic duo would be amazing. And anyway, so much good stuff. And thank you everybody for joining us for Inner Work, Emily McAnelly's first episode. We might do a little cross promotion with Great Noticing before we do our relaunch in the fall. But thanks everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.